Hello? Hello? Okay. But, did I do that right? I think I did. Did I do it right? Okay. Hello? Okay. So, I'm back from an amazing weekend. Had an incredible retreat. Met amazing people. Learned a bunch. Lots of cool stuff. It has been a day already about catching up on everything. So it happens when you go out of town, you gotta catch up on all this stuff. And we are still in the full moon energy for like a biscuit more, for just like the littlest bit more time that we are still in the full moon energy. And this is important because one of the things that is happening right now, because we know when we are in that full moon energy, and the full moon was Friday, and we, no, Saturday, and we release things into this full moon. So we had this beautiful time to see the moon rising, and we release things when we're in the full moon. And so one of the things that we are talking about today is compassion. Compassion, because this came up a lot over the weekend, and so I really felt compelled to talk about it. We can be very hard on ourselves, and we can be very hard on other people. Hi. No Zoom option today. So we got to figure out a better way to do that. We're gonna figure out something there. So one of the things that we're talking about today is, well, the thing that we're talking about today is compassion, because because we're very hard on ourselves, and then we're very hard on other people. And this is the thing that kept coming through to me all weekend through meditation and the channeling that we were doing, was it was all about compassion, and that we get caught up in the human part of being humans here on earth, and we forget that we are souls here having this human experience. And that is really important, that we are souls having this human experience, because when we see these things of people, and there's so much anger and strife in the news right now, we see people who are in that, who are in it, or when we're looking at it, it's so easy for us to be like, well, blah, 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 and we get our own selves really out of sorts and into that negative energy space about it. And one of the things that was really, really clear through this weekend was, we have forgotten, because we are so connected to the material, to the stuff of this world, and more importantly, we're so connected to what other people think about us. We are so concerned about what other people think or feel about us. Do they like me? Am I dressed right? And even just in moments in this retreat that I went to, I saw it happening. I saw it in myself, and I'm like, whoa, you know what? This person's gonna like me for me, or she's not gonna like me, and that's okay either way. Like, whatever it is, and that's okay, because we may cross paths with people, hundreds and thousands of people, but that doesn't necessarily mean those people are meant to stay with us for the duration. Very few people are meant to stay with us for the duration. And so we can be very difficult, very hard on ourselves of do I measure up? Do I look right? Am I dressed right? Am I, are they going to like me? And we forget that we are not here, humans, to judge or to be judged or to fit in. We are souls here having this human experience to learn. And that is a very, very different perspective. And I like this. It's a silly show, but I like it. A television show called Young Sheldon, and I loved The Big Bang Theory. If you've seen that television show, and Young Sheldon is the story of how Sheldon Cooper of The Big Bang Theory became Sheldon Cooper, how his growing up years were. And in this final season that is just starting to air right now, he's in Germany and he is learning at another university. And this is a kid who has been the smartest kid in Texas for his whole short little life. And now he is studying with, adults and other geniuses that are the best in the world. And one of the things that his professor says to him is just listen, just listen. And I think we get so caught up that we are thinking and thinking and thinking, and we're listening to the wrong voices, or we're listening to the ego voice. Do I fit in? Is that person going to like me, accept me, want me, keep me, trust me? Can I trust that person? We're listening to these voices instead of remembering to listen to the higher mind, to listen to our soul's voice, because the soul is here to listen. The soul is here to learn. The soul is here to have this human experience. And so as the conversations went on through this weekend, and some of them were pretty heavy, we come to this place of how do we deal with trauma? How do we deal with loss? How do we deal with addiction or abuse, or the worst traumas is losing a child, or even more, losing a child by suicide, or losing a parent by suicide. How do we deal with these traumas that we are exposed to and that may have been laid upon our shoulders? And it's so easy for us to fall again into that trap of judgment and harsh judgment of ourselves, or the assumption of others harsh judging us, or for us to judge others harshly. And the thing that kept coming up again and again in the conversation is this reminder that is all from the human side, the left brain, the ego, that humanistic side, when the rest of it is, are you a spammer, Sir Ron Scooter? Because if you are, we will ban you. I'm not really sure what to do with this DM for your psychic, because I think that's a spammy message. But I don't want to be judgmental, as we're talking about judgment, being judgmental. One of the things that came up over and over again in these conversations, these very deep and powerful conversations on this retreat, was about understanding the soul alliances and the soul contracts that we've made before we come here as humans. That if you are dealing with someone who has suffered a tremendous loss, or is dealing with addiction, or an ailing parent with dementia or something of that nature, something that is just heart-wrenchingly difficult, part of the thing to remember is that your soul agreed to this with their soul to come here in advance to have this experience for your soul to learn. And the thing I keep coming back to, because there's so much that is going on right now in the world that is hate-based, and it's so gratifying that so many of the people that we talk to believe that the light is rising, and while the dark is shaking and getting very, very loud, the light side is rising. The people who are waking up to understand this is a human body that is encased, that is carrying a soul to have a soul's educational experience. That we are having this soul's experience. We are here to have a soul's experience. We are humans that are having a soul experience. We are souls having a human experience. And it came up over and over again because there's so much angst and anger and conflict and hate that is swirling, and yet still so many people can say, I see the light and the awakening and the awareness of people coming to places like this and coming to understand there is so much more. The souls are having this experience within a human body. And when you can remember this, because we get so caught up in the noise that we forget. It's hard to remember. It's hard to hear the soul amongst the noise. And when we can remember these things, when we can remember this, to be able to say, ah, yes, my soul loves you so much, loves you, loves your soul so much. I am going to go with you on this journey and be there for you and make sure you are cared for and protected while you go through this experience. Or I love you so much that I am willing to be the torturer, the aggressor, the abuser of you so your soul can learn. Or I will be the victim. I love you so much that I will be the victim so you can learn. These things, when we think them and say them from this human perspective, it sounds nuts. I'm not going to let you torture me. I'm not going to let you be the abuser. I'm not, that's not how no sensible person would sign up for that. And yet we do. We see humans who stay in these patterns. Oh, Leslie Pedrosa, you are banned. You are a spammer and you're banned. Bye. Spammers be banned. Banned, 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 banned. Okay. Yep, banned. See you, bye. Bye. If you're a spammer, just go. Okay. Okay. Hi, Laura Lou. Welcome back. So we see these things where people sign up, unintentionally. They get trapped in these torturous, abusive relationships. And this is where we have been lost in that human experience, forgetting that we are the souls here having a human experience. That there's this part of us that has signed up from the soul's perspective. We have signed up for this journey of this one lifetime to be the victim or the abuser, so that this piece underneath has this soul connection that says, yes, I love you so much. I will stand there and let you be the abuser, or I will stand there and be the victim. I will be the abuser. I will be the cancer. I will take this cancer journey so you can learn unconditional love and patience and care. I will be the one who learns about helplessness and hopelessness and being the caregiver while you go through this cancer journey. We see this all the time of souls who have come and incarnated together, where they have agreed to come on these very painful journeys together. And when you think about, I was thinking about it this morning with the gentleman that I run with. There's some health challenges going on in his household with his wife. And if you followed me for any period of time, you know that we've had some health challenges with my husband over the last 6-7 months. He's doing great. But when you are watching a loved one go through a heart attack, hospitalization, trauma, cancer, whatever it is, when you're watching this, there is this feeling of, I feel so helpless, and yet I would do anything to help my love, the person that I am here bonded with, to say, my parent, my child, my sibling, my friend, whatever, my partner, how can I be of help to this person? And it's that kind of love that allows us to stand in these gaps. And that is a soul love, a soul connection, a soul contract. And so when you see these horrible, awful things, because I'll tell you, the trauma of October 7th in Israel has stayed with me and stayed with many people that I know. And I try to be very careful about how much of that I take in, because it has really been torturous for me personally to hear these stories, and so many friends and family that still are living in Israel. And it's difficult. And at the same time, I think to myself, how? And I ask for guidance. How can I reconcile this? How can I reconcile this in a way that allows this trauma not to rule my life? How can I reconcile this in a way that does not keep me up night after night with nightmares and pain and agony of these things that have happened? Whether we have lost someone to suicide or cancer or terrorism. And the messages that continue to come into me over and over are always the same. It is about soul love that allows us to endure these atrocities. And nobody wants atrocities. We don't want them. I don't want them. I don't want them for anyone on earth. I mean, what wouldn't we give for peace? Global peace and support and equality and love for our fellow human being and creature. But how much love does it take to say that I will stand in that gap for you while you have this experience to learn and to grow your soul? And I don't have an answer to how much love that is, but it is literally the only thing that I can come back to over and over again. And it is literally the only answer that comes through to me when I ask them, why, how, what is going on, that people would sign up for this. But we remember that those soul contracts are made before we are even born. Before I was born, my parents, the souls of my parents, said, we are going to come first and create this life and create this space so the soul that will become Shari will come into this space and be able to be birthed and have this lifetime where that soul can have these experiences that we're signed up for. And my parents had that conversation, the souls of my parents, with their parents, and those four, and then beyond and beyond and beyond. And this is what soul families do. And we can have soul families where we have incarnated together as still families. We can have soul families that have incarnated as abuser and victim. There are so many possibilities. But the thing that angels and guides and spirits and source have channeled through me time and time again is the basis of this is still the foundation of love. And so, excuse me, as we are coming to the end of this moon cycle, this full moon, we're still in the shadow of that full moon energy right now for a little bit more. And as we come to the end of this full moon window, let's look at things with a compassionate lens. Let's try to treat ourselves with compassion. Let's try to treat others with compassion, whether they treat us with compassion or not, because we cannot control others, we can only control ourselves. Okay? Crystal Shay, Lordicus, the minute you make a message, we're going to ban you. So if you're a spammer, and there you go. You got to go. You and your evil eye. We don't believe in the evil eye here, and we certainly do not tolerate spammers. So goodbye. Bye. As compassionately as I can do it. Okay. Please understand there's a very big difference between compassion and boundaries. Right? We have boundaries and we have rules for our community of how we will function and what will be acceptable to us for our community of light here. We have boundaries. But I have all the compassion in the world for those people who are having whatever that soul experience is, because I don't know what that is or why that is. Poof, be gone. Exactly, Kimmy. But whatever that soul experience is, we are happy for them to have it over there. We don't need them to have that soul experience. We choose not to be part of that soul experience. So that compassion and receiving others who we choose to allow into our circle, and as I said before, we're going to cross paths with tons and tons and tons of humans. We do not have to be connected to all of them, okay? And we definitely don't want to be connected to spammers. So it's some things to think about, because if you're watching the news, and we've talked before about the loudness of the news and the things that are going on, if these things are weighing on you, because I hear from a lot of you, I hear from a lot of people that it's just, it feels so heavy and so loud and so angry. It is very loud and angry. And it's like, to me, it's kind of like popcorn. Hello, love. It's kind of like popcorn, right? When you make popcorn in a microwave or an air popper, you can hear it. The wind starts going and the air popper, and it's going pop, 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 and these things start bubbling out the top, right? It's loud and things are moving and happening. But down at the bottom, there's still that little swirl of kernels that don't pop, right? They're just that little swirl of kernels. They're just spinning around the air popper and they're just not going to pop, right? in that space where the loud is coming out the top. But there is still this foundation, and don't go into ratios of, the unpopped with the popped, because it doesn't follow the logic. But we're in the basis, we're in the foundation of the swirling around, keeping everybody safe. We're connecting with everybody. We're letting the crazy, the stuff that needs to get released, to get out, go, go, go. And we're kind of holding down the fort at the bottom. And that doesn't mean we're at the bottom. It means we're the foundation. We're the grounded. We're the grounded. And we're the ones that are holding steady while all that noise is going, ah! Right? And we're the ones holding steady because we're connected to Mother Earth. We're connected to the light. We don't need to be in all of that crazy. We can be the grounded. Okay? And so while it seems loud and okay, it is proportionally smaller to the rest of us that are just going around. We're going around, and we got this. We cool. We're grounded. We got the ground. We got Mother Earth. We got our energy tucked onto those roots down in solid. And we're connected to the light. You silly girl. Connected to the light, and we've got the light. Oh, okay. Y'all into the sound effects today. And so it's so important to remember that what we see on the surface, right? We think of the icebergs. What we see on the surface is one tiny piece of what is really going on, right? There is something else that's cooking. There is so much more below the surface. There is something else that's cooking that is coming in this age of transformation that we are in right now, this age of transformation. I'm so glad you appreciated that, Chris. So I have to say also, I have to share that, and this is part of this confirmation of change that I know is coming, because I had this wonderful experience this weekend of being on this retreat, and there were sandhill cranes everywhere. And these things, they're like a little smaller than an emu, and they are cranes, so they don't have quite that sway back. They look like very tall birds. They are very tall. They've got long necks with a big beak and a red nose. And they are just big and majestic and beautiful birds. And here in Florida, they're protected. I don't know about other places because I know they migrate. I know they go in other places. But here in Florida, they're protected. But they also mate for life. And so it is very, very, very unusual to see one sandhill crane. You'll see them in 2s or 3s and 4s, the parents, the pair bond, and the little ticklies, and, and they're so cute. And they'll just walk right across the street in front of your car because they know they're protected. They're just like, I'm walking. But this weekend, for the first time in years, we saw one single sandhill crane. And there were others around in their little groups. But this one guy, I'm assuming it was a guy, don't mean to be judgy, but this one guy kept hanging out with us. Everywhere we went, there he was. This one guy. And I thought, gosh, it's a full moon. There's like something, like what is going on? And the thing that I kept understanding with him is that his change is coming. And that he was indicative of change coming, right? Coming. His change is coming. He is going to pair bond. His life is going to change. He's going to become a parent. That's definitely going to change your life. And he is going to have this change. But it's not here yet because he kept hanging out, looking at all the people, hanging out. And we went over to this side of the area. He came over this side of the property. We were over there. He came on back. And he was just very chill, very relaxed. He wasn't looking for a partner. He wasn't trying to glom on to all the other people that seemed like they had it figured out. He was doing his own thing and knew that change would come in the right time. And so the thing I wanted to do was I grabbed our, Stephen Farmer, book of spirit animals, and I wanted to look up crane, and I wanted to see, and I didn't do it ahead of time, so it'll be all of us, hearing it together. But I kept hearing with him, change is coming. Change is coming. You just got to wait for it. You just got to wait for it. Because like I said, this beautiful crane, he was not out there looking for it. He wasn't looking for his change. He wasn't looking for his partner. He was just living his best life. And he was allowing the universe to do its work. And so here's the picture of the crane. right? This is not a sandhill crane. That's crab crane. This is not a sandhill crane, but to give you the idea of that long neck, that small head, the beak. And so this says, do what you need to do to bring greater balance into your life. This is a time of great abundance and plenitude, one in which you won't want for anything. A portal has opened that allows you a glimpse of the future without fear or trepidation. Maintain a relaxed vigilance at this time. Pay close attention to signs and omens. It's time to revive and restore that hobby or recreational interest that you once enjoyed. And so the place where we started today, I love that, because so the place that we started today was all about compassion and joy and staying connected to the soul, to the things that we're here to learn, and allowing for things to unfold as we have compassion for ourselves, we have compassion for others. We don't walk forward in judgment. We are releasing all these things in this full moon, this last piece of full moon energy. And at the same time, we are reminded that we are here for that soul's purpose, and that everything that comes is coming from love, even when it feels like we are walking through mud or fire. It comes from this place of love that the souls have agreed long in advance. The souls have agreed because there was so much love. These souls have agreed to come together, whether yours and someone around you have agreed to come together and to have whatever this experience is, whether it seems positive or seems a lot less than positive. We have agreed for this because of love. Because of love. And so the crane reminds us that abundance is our birthright. The crane reminds us that balance is important. And the crane reminds us to seek joy with a hobby or things that bring us joy. In all the things, seek joy. Because all of the things that we do or are experiencing is from love. Even though it may be gut-wrenchingly challenging from the human perspective. And one of the things that I heard at this retreat this weekend that really I just loved, and the woman used the word God, and you can use source, light, universe, spirit, whatever works for you. But she said, God rules the universe. God rules life in the universe. God rules my life. God rules my life for the good. And again, love, source, light, however you want to put it. The universe rules the universe. Right? The universe controls and guides the things that happen. The universe controls and guides the things that happen for the good, for our good, for the good of all of us, even the stuff that is so hard. And so, as we are in this time of the releasing of this full moon energy, this last piece of the releasing, and two things that are important that are coming is we have daylight savings is coming, so the light is coming back. Literally, the light is coming back in the next couple of weeks. And also, Mercury retrograde is going to start in the very beginning of April, which means about the same time that we have daylight savings, starting or ending or whatever it does when the light comes back, we will start to feel the effects of Mercury retrograde about 2 weeks before it actually happens. So mid-March, it's going to be very energetically busy, which is also going to be right around the new moon. Okay, so all this stuff that you may be holding and need to be releasing right now as we're finishing this full moon energy part, to release the places of judgment and places where we're not being compassionate to ourselves, about ourselves, or to or about others. This is a place where we have a little bit more time to take a look at those things, because we want to release all those things that don't serve us while that full moon is coming back down to the new moon in about 2 more weeks. Okay, so thank you, Chris, for explaining to Catherine. And we're going to do some cards. We're going to do the cards. What do we want to do today? All right, we're going to do cards. We'll use Colette Baron Reed's. We'll use Colette's cards today. Those are good. Those are always good. All right, so we're going to do a collective card reading, and then we'll do some individual cards, okay? So hang in there with me for a few more minutes. We'll do some collective card readings, and then we'll get to some individuals. All right. All right, so what do we need to know? Already a jumper card. What do we need to know about releasing stuff in this full moon? time that we have, and this is by the book. So this is card 11. So this is tells us that we're going together. This is so perfect because it's really talking about card 11, right? Is the twin number. It's the soul's alignment number. It's the souls that are together. So this reminds us and confirms for us that we do come into incarnation as pairs. We do come into incarnation with others. We don't come into this human experience alone as a soul. We don't leave this human body experience as a soul alone. We all have escorts. So when we go to transition to leave this physical body, our souls, the souls of those who have gone before us, who are waiting for us on the other side, or who may have skipped this side to be a guide for perhaps, they will gather to receive us. We do not transition out of this life alone. We do not transition into this human life alone. So this is by the book. You have the elephants all in line. It's card number 11 that reminds us that we are together, pairs, 2 by 2. They went along, right? They went by twosies. But the elephants never forget. Elephants remember all these things. Elephants have patience, and they have strength, that quiet inner strength. Elephants are so big and strong. And the thing about, elephants who've been raised in captivity, they don't even know their strength, right? Because they have these ropes that are put around them when they're very little. And so then when they are older, they don't even need big, strong ropes because they have learned that those ropes will keep them there. So they don't even know their own strength, right? And they continue to go forward on their path, in their family groups, in their soul pairs, in their soul connections, their soul families. Okay? I feel like I'm not getting my words right today. Soul families. And so then the other thing that we need to know about that is that we have, in the second part of that is card number 9, is Treasure Island. And Treasure Island is a magical card. Treasure Island, I love this card because look, here's this gorgeous tortoise. And, rhyming, gorgeous tortoise. And he's got everything he needs. He's got all this stuff. He's got, look at all the hearts, and little hearts are coming off of this. He's got everything. Hi, Ellen. He's got everything he needs is with him. He's got everything he needs is with him. And look how beautiful it's glowing. It's glowing gold and light, and so much light is coming off. And he's swimming in this blue, beautiful crystal water. It's the same color as the horizon. So it's all magical, and it's all of peace, right? That we are going in the right direction. Slow and steady wins the race. We stay in our pair bonds. We stay in our soul groups. That we are guided by these things to go forward, always forward. Whether the view is good or not good, we are always going forward for the greater good. That there is always going to be blessing it, and that we have been given everything that we need to take with us on this human journey. And then the last part of that is chop wood, which chop wood is 42. So that's so interesting because it's so interesting. So the first one was 11, which is, numeral. Hey, relax. Was number 2. 1 and 1 makes 2. The second one was number 9, and then this third one is chop wood is 6. So we have 2, 6, and 9, which gives us this progression. Hey, get out of there. So we've got dogs to the left of me and dogs to the right of me. My paper dog, he comes in and he takes some piece of paper out of my recycling basket and he takes it over there to eat, and he's like, and he runs off. He's so funny. He's like, I'm not doing anything. Got my paper. I got to go. All right. So chop wood reminds us to do our work. Chop wood reminds us to stay in our lane, to do what we came here to do. That the things that we are doing are things that we're experiencing are being guided by higher powers. They're being assisted. Okay. Humans have free will. Let's never forget humans have free will. But that we are being guided for the greater good on the path. Even when we make a U-turn or a wrong turn, we are still going forward. There's no such thing as a wrong turn. We are always going forward on the path. And our job is to stay in the lane, to do our work, to do what we came here to do. Okay. Now, whether you remember what that soul contract is or not, or you're here following your soul's calling, right? And if you're here, you probably have some kind of inkling of your soul's calling or your direction, or at least you're looking for it and you're aware that something like that exists. And so Chopwood reminds us to do our work, stay in our lane. Because look, this is a hallway, a gateway, right? They're not chopping wood in the field. They're chopping wood in their hallway, in their zone, in their window, in their space. They're staying in their space and they're doing their work in their space, okay? So this is what's important, right? That we literally have We are absolutely going in the right direction. We are with our soul families for the better or for worse. All of that is, whether it feels better or worse, it is absolutely for the good because we're with the soul family. We're all going in the same direction. We're all going into the light. You notice that they're not walking into the darkness. Oh, these elephants, they're not walking in the darkness. They are walking into the light. And if you look, the shadows are straight underneath of them and a little bit behind. So that means they're walking into the light for those shadows to be going behind them. The elephants are walking into the light. And then we have the next. The next is that we Treasure Island, and we have all of the blessings, all of the gifts are with us. We already have all of that. We just have to let it out. We get in touch with that self, or that higher mind. We get in touch with that soul, and it will come forward. And it may take a little time. It may take a little while. And it may be like, uh-huh, is that right? Is that where I'm going? Is that where I'm supposed to go? But while we're doing that, we stay in our lane and we do the work that's in front of us. We do the work that we are given. This is one of the things that has been a family motto of my family forever. We first you go and then you see. My kids would say, like, oh, I don't know, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what it's going to be like. I'm like, that's okay. First you go and then you see. So this is Smith family motto number one. First you go and then you see. And if it's not what you think or what you wanted or what you needed or whatever, you're free to leave, right? And go ahead. You're not held hostage there. But first you go and then you see. And second is, oh, crumbs. Do the work that do the work that you're given. That's the Smith family motto number two. Do the work you're given. So if somebody asks you to do something or you sign up to do something, you do the work that you're given, right? So when we say, because I see Nancy says, I feel I have no purpose. So for the moment, Nancy, you do the work that you're given. First you go, and then you see, and you do the work that you're given. Because the thing is, the universe puts things in front of us that are meant to help us open or to experience, to learn, and to grow. And while that feeling, I'm so sorry that you feel this way, Nancy, that it's a feeling of lostness and being ungrounded. And when, in my experience, when I could get back grounded, then I was more able to do the work that I was given. And when I could see nothing else around me, if I stuck to the two family mottos, first you go and then you see, do the work that you've been given, it allowed my heart to open enough and for me to be grounded enough for things to start falling into place. And that took a little while. It certainly wasn't instantaneous, but being patient and being open, because when we don't do the work that we're given, somebody asks us for help, or we say we're going to show up and we don't. When we don't do the work that we're given, the consequences, like the butterfly effect, right? Like the butterfly flaps its wings in one side of the world, and then the hurricane happens on the other side of the world. But we are connected that way, and so it's important for us to have this place where we show up for ourselves and for each other. So whatever it is, and that literally could just be like, I said I was doing laundry today. That's the work you were given. You see somebody on the side of the road with a sign that says, we need some help, and maybe you have a couple bucks, maybe you have a granola bar. I keep granola bars in my car. I keep a box of Nature Valley granola bars in my car because it does seem like, and this is something I started doing when we lived in LA, because there was somebody on every street corner when we lived in LA, and it does seem like we're seeing more of that. In the areas where we live or where we travel. And so I keep a box of granola bars because it costs, $4 or $5 for me to just throw that in my, cart at the store. And then I can hand these out. And while you may or may not feel comfortable to give out money, and I get that, and there's times when I have felt like, yes, give money, and times where I felt like, nope, don't want to do that. And you listen to your inner nudge. You listen to what feels right for you and also what is realistic for you in your situation. But to be able to give out these granola bars was at least something. And so in my mind, that was part of the work that I was given, is to hand out some granola bars. I would rather, at least that way there's something to eat, And so if there's truth in their situation, every person that I've ever given a granola bar to ever has been grateful. And most of them either ate it right away or like tucked it away, in a pouch for later. no one has ever said to me, "That's all you got? A granola bar?" And so maybe I'm, you know, better at not giving stuff to the skinny people, or maybe that that's the work that I've been given, you know. So that's part of, it's not a purpose, it's not my soul's calling, but it's part of the work that I've been given. And so that was part of how I chose to show up in the world. And so maybe there's something that you can do, whatever that piece is, because it was something that felt, I wish I could do more to help these people. And yes, we may give money to charities and different organizations, but what could I do to help with boots on the ground? Well, it's not my calling to be part of the, because where I live, in another part of the town, there are definitely folks that are doing like big food things where they're feeding hundreds of people in a day, and that's not where I'm meant to be. But what's one little thing that you could do to engage, to connect with other people, to do the work that you've been giving, to show up in the world in some way? The littlest things. And this is where do the work that you've been given makes a big difference. Because those little things, even those little things, make ripples. They make big ripples. And so it might feel like a little tiny thing, like I gave that person a granola bar. You know, I go and donate blood, and they give us blankets or socks or shirts or whatever, and I keep that in the back of my car too. So when it's cold here, I can hand that stuff out too. Because, you know, I don't need more of that stuff. And so, you know, those are things that we can, little things that we can do that could make a big difference to somebody else. What happens when we do those little things is it creates that place where the heart can open and say, gosh, that was a little thing, but I'm really glad I did it. And the little heart goes, they're listening to spirit. And then some other place can open where the guidance that we need, the guidance that we're waiting for from spirit, can eke its way in there and be like, okay, you're starting to listen to us. Here's what else we want to share. And this is where we say, oh, Nancy, now I know I have a purpose. Now I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Because these little things can come in and they wedge and they wedge and they wedge. It allows us to hear more because we're being more willing to be guided and being willing to hear more. When we get very caught in our own noise, little leaks of light. I love that, Jamie. I love that. When we get caught up in our own noise, it's hard to hear that stuff. And so we bring it back around to where we started today, which was compassion. Compassion for ourselves, compassion for others. And Chris, I remember those stories, and it is a little thing that I can do. Okay? And so we do those things to make sure that we can welcome those little leaks of light, because when we do those little leaks of light, more light can come in. Colette Baron Reed, whose cards these are, is very fond of saying, when you take one step towards spirit, they'll take 10 steps towards you. And I think that that's true. So when we have those little leaks of light, and when we're feeling like we just don't know where to go or what to do or what we're supposed to do, first you go, then you see. Because I believe that the next steps will show. The next steps will come. It is one of my favorite quotes. It's literally on my website, and I completely muff it every single time I try to say it. But it basically says, when you come to the edge of all that you know, trust that one of two things is going to happen, that there will be something solid for you to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. The next step will appear, whether that is something solid for you to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. All right. So let's do a little reading for you all who've been so patient. And so you know the deal. If you're looking for a card, now is the time to throw that in the comments, okay? All right. Now's the time. And Nancy, one of the things I would say, you are welcome, friend. One of the things I would say for Nancy is choose to do something that makes you happy, Nancy. Choose to do something that makes you happy, that says, this brings some joy to me. And it can be selfish. It's totally fine, because that's how we crack open our heart, and that's how we get those little leaks of light to come in. Okay? All right, I've got some folks on Facebook. We've got some folks on Instagram. All right, so got a couple jumper cards. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to those for a second. No, all right, I'm gonna pull these out real quick because I think they may be important. So these two popped out here, which is between two worlds, which reminds us that we are in a time of transition, that change is absolutely coming, and that we are coming out of the dark and into the light, because you can see this beautiful flamingo is coming out of the dark. Hey, hey! Nobody talking to you people. Out of the dark and into the light. So we are changing for the good, even though we're still, part of us is in this dark place, okay? Hey, enough. Little barky face. Um, and the other part, the other card that topped right out is clean it up. And clean it up reminds us about keeping our head right, keeping our heart right, right? Clean it up reminds us not to get caught up in the noise, right? It's that final reminder not to get caught up in the noise. All right, so we're going to jump over here. Ooh, Michelle Krantz. All right, so remember, if you don't need to share your question with me. We don't want to have a yes or no question. We want to have a what do I need to know about this kind of a question. And you don't have to share the question with me, but just hold that in your head. And then when we come to you, that energy will connect with your card. Okay? So, Michelle, this card comes up for you. This is Never Ending Story. This is 37. So 37, 3 and 7 is 10. So this is an end of a chapter. But I have to say that this card comes in upside down. Where is... Hang on. Hold, please. This card comes in upside down. And so when this card comes in upside down, it says, don't get stuck in someone else's story. Okay, this is reminding you that when this is that never-ending story, that it's not your story. Okay, so this is reminding you to move forward on your own terms, staying in your lane. So when we have this up, right side up, now we're getting stuck in the same place. We're getting a victim mentality. We're being very critical of ourselves, and so this is what we've been talking about: being more compassionate to ourselves. And so, Michelle, we want to make sure that you are not getting stuck in someone else's drama. Okay, so this coming in upside down is not being about you being in that repeat cycle, rinse and repeat, but this is about you getting sucked into someone else's drama. So there may be some boundaries that need to be addressed there for you as well. But this is also card 37 is 3 and 7 is 10. So it's coming to the end of a cycle. Okay. So it seems like maybe you've been there for this person. You've been part of the drama. And now it's okay for you to be like, you know what? Cycle's over, I'm done, okay? And that is totally okay for you to be able to walk out of that situation right now, okay? All right, so we're going to go to Janie. All right, if you put in the chat already to get a card, you don't have to do it more than one time. I do see you all. We are good, so please don't feel like you've got to get in there. I see Fatima, I see Brenda, I see Janie. We're going to get Janie, and we'll do Chris. And then we'll hop over to Instagram for a minute. So Janie, we've got, so this must have been your jumper card because it popped right out again, is that between two worlds. And okay, so we're coming from the place of darkness. We're coming into the place of light, but it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be wonderful. Look at the colors of the flamingo. And he's not like in distress. This is not a power posture. This is not a defiant or like any kind of a danger posture. He seems very relaxed in his neck, and he's just walking along, which means A, you're going in the right direction, and B, some of this hard stuff that you've been dealing with is coming to a close. You're coming to the end of that. You're coming into a time of transition for yourself, a time of transition in your life. Because the other thing that is important about this is card number 3. And so 3 for me is always like about angel wings, the 3, because you have this kind of shape that comes around. So 3 is about those angel wings. But the other thing, I'm going to put this really close, is see the little butterfly that's with him right here? So he's got a crown on his head. He's got this little butterfly going on. So he has got life is good happening there, and that you are absolutely going in the right direction, and that the time of challenge is coming to an end. Now, when we say these things, it's awesome, but remember, energy is not turned on and off like a light switch, right? So we're coming to the end of a challenge. It does not mean at 5 o'clock, whoop, we're off the clock, okay? So it's coming. So be aware of that. And you'll see these signs around you, Janie, that are showing you that you're going in the right direction. They're showing you you're going in the right direction. All right, so we're going to get Chris. We're going to do Chris. And I see Kimmy, and I see Carol. So Kimmy, it was getting to be just too hard for me to get that Zoom on this page. I can't get the Zoom connected to come to this page, so I had to do it through my personal page, which I don't want to do. Yay, Jamie, that was exactly your question. Hooray! Excellent. Gosh, I just love the cards. So Kimmy, we're gonna figure out something else to be able to do readings. We're gonna figure out something else. All right, so we're gonna do Chris. So this card is for Chris. This is very scratchy in my eye. This is Deep Knowing, and Deep Knowing is card number 43. So 4 and 3 is 7. However, this is, hey, Laura Lou, yay, glad you're still here. However, this card comes in upside down, and so this reminds us that we want to be patient and relaxed and not try to push our way through, right? So this is deep knowing that tells us like, hey, you are literally between two worlds here. Stuff is changing. You've got the planet, you've got the moon, you've got literally the full moon, which is a time of release and transition, and you are sitting on top of the world. You are sitting on top of the potential of spirit is with you, supporting you, and that you are looking at the full moon. You are looking at the potential of moving forward, but it's going to happen in its own time, okay? And so 4 and 3 is 7. Again, going through, we've come over the hump. So we are coming over the hump to that finish line. In 7 comes into 8 and 9 is that success of the journey. But it's just this reminder that we got to just let things work themselves out. We can't force it, even though we want to. Because when we have stuff, we're like, I want what I want, and I want it right now. And so this is just this reminder of patience, which I know we all love patience so much. That's our favorite, right? But this is just reminding you, Chris, that you're going in the right direction. All the things are supporting you, and that it's really just about letting things come into place. That letting those cards, those stars align, letting things get connected until it's like watching when they move train cars around. They just like gotta move them, and it goes so slow, and they move them, and then they come close enough, and they click, and they're like, and now they're connected. And so this is where it is, that we're waiting for that last click. So, all right, Chris says she's not good with patience. She's really not good with patience. Because anybody else is agreeing? Anybody else having problems with patience? Because we have that. Hi, Sadie, I see you. So we go in order. So I see you in your beautiful hearts and little clappy hands. Thank you. So we do go in order. So the next up on our list. So I promise, hang in there with me. We're gonna get with you. We're gonna hop over to Instagram for a minute, and we're gonna get a couple of those folks done. So we've got Fatima and we've got Brenda. So Sadie's having a problem with patience. Right? And anybody like, oh, your sister loved elephants. That's so cool, Kimmy. Elephants, I think are amazing. And here's the thing, because y'all know I love my manatees so much that manatees are very closely related to elephants. So for my friend Brenda, this is co-create. This card, co-create, is card number 40. And so that would be 4 on the numerology. So 4 reminds us of the 4 legs of the chair, the 4 legs of a table, that you are being supported, you are balanced and supported, and that you have more support than you really realize. But this card is co-create, and it does come in upside down. And co-create, it says to not... Now, I know Brenda a long time, and I know she knows I love her, so I'm going to say this. Stop being stubborn. Stop being stubborn. And this is not judgment, but this is what the card says when it comes in upside down. It's like, hey, this is a team effort. Life is a team sport. Whatever's going on, you can't do it by yourself. You need some other folks to be with you. You need to get in there with co-creating with the universe, with spirit. You need to co-create with some others that are around you who are standing by to help work with you. And that it's really important that you are not feeling like you got to roll up your sleeves and do it all yourself for everybody all the time. Okay, so this is just reminding you that you are not in it by yourself. And she gives me a LOL, and I love you, and I love you back. And like I said, Brenda and I have known each other a very long time, so I'm happy to be able to say that I can say, don't be stubborn, and she won't hate me for it. All right, we're gonna do Fatima, and then we'll come back over to Facebook, and we have for Fatima. So this is a change in the wind, Fatima. So this is card 12. So 1 and 2 is 3. So we already had talked about 3 with the angel wings. So this is card 3, and so here you have this change in the wind. This is the zebra that is going forward. He's got all his stuff on his back. He is ready to start that new adventure. And 3 is we are going in that direction. We know where we're going. We're moving forward. Brenda says spot on. That's awesome. Yay. We love the cards because the cards don't lie. So Fatima, we're telling you, you're going in the right direction. You're moving in the right direction. So we start 1. It's like, number 1, am I going? This is a new journey, a new adventure. I don't know if I'm going in the right direction. 2 tells us like, all right, keep going, because it's maybe a little early. Oh, Ashley, you're a spammer and you're banned. Banned from page. Bye. Banned. Ashley. Buddy didn't like it either. Hey. I've literally got one big dog here and one little dog right here. So, all right. So, hey. Okay, so we get to number 3, and it's like, oh, okay, we're going in the right direction. We've got this support. We've got this happening with the angels and guides that are holding on to us. Here's Bo, the loudmouth, with his little sweater, because it's a little bit chilly today. Also, he's very big about his sweaters, even if it was 90. So, all right, go get him. Dylan just walked in. Go get him. All right, so this is, it's not that it's an adventure, but it does feel like it's a new, it's not an adventure. I mean, you are off on a new journey. You are going in the right direction. This does feel like more of like a new job or a new direction in your life. So it's not, I don't feel like it's like adventure. I'm not feeling like a cruise or a, trip around the world, but it is definitely like, I feel like it's a change in what how you're spending your day. And I feel like it's also, I feel like it's, leaving some stuff behind that's not like stuff that I don't need this anymore, and I'm just going to move in a new direction. So it's not, nope, Shelly Rogers, you're a spammer and you're banned. You're banned. So Fatima, sorry, there was a little bit of chaos there for a second. So Fatima, this is also telling you that you have everything that you need with you. And when you're going in this right direction, you literally have everything that you need to go with you, to take with you, to go on this journey. And that you can see also from the wind in the pictures up here, that you can see that they are headed into the wind. That is, rather than having the wind at the back, you can see that they're headed into the wind, but it's not a gust, it's just a little gentle breeze that's going to just help things make a little bit more interesting on your journey. So it's not going to be boring, but I do feel like this is a change in how you spend your day, as if there's a new job opportunity that presents itself to you, or there's a new person in your life that brings you into new spaces. It's not a romantic pairing, but it's somebody who brings you into new spaces of, I'm going to see, go to this event, go to this class, something where I'm going to be allowing myself to be more engaged with what's going on in the world around me. So we have that for Fatima. All right. Sorry, we got a little swath of Spamapalooza there for a second. All right. So we have, all right. So we have Carol. We have Kimmy. Janie we did, and Laura Lou. Okay, so Carol, Kimmy, Laura Lou, and then Sadie. All right, we got it. All right. All right, Carol Costello. So for you, Carol Costello, this is the Unfinished Symphony. This is card number 10, but this also comes in upside down, Carol. Okay, so this also comes in upside down. So for the upside down part of this, this is really about being in harmony, being accountable, staying on your path, staying with, moon omens. If you're a spammer, just go, because we're going to ban you the minute you post. So moon there you go, moon omens, there you are. Bye, banned, you got to go. It's just, they just keep changing their names. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So Carol, this reminds you to stay in the game, okay? So this is the Unfinished Symphony. So it is the end of a chapter, but it feels like you're on the cusp of the end of the chapter and not really allowing yourself to get across the finish line. So it comes in upside down. This is a reminder for you to do what you need to do so that you can have what you want to have. Okay, so do what you need to do so you can have what you want to have. It's unfinished because you're maybe a little procrastination that's in there, or there's a fear of finishing the task, finishing the work, because what if they don't like it? What if it's not what do I do next? And so just allow yourself to enjoy the journey. But this is about accountability. This is about keeping your head in the game and being accountable to yourself. More than being accountable to others, is really about being accountable to yourself. Don't let your music and your gifts hide under a bushel. F you, ye junior, you are banned. You're a spammer banned from page. Goodbye. Oh my goodness, we are just bombarded this week. I guess they're catching up because last week we didn't really have any spammers. So Fatima, you are welcome, my friend. All right, so that was Carol. And we've got Kimmy. Kimmy, whose sister loved elephants. Okay. Kimmy, we have go the distance for you. This is 47. So 4 and 7 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2. So again, new journeys, staying on the path, go the distance. Comes in right side up, so you're in a good way about it. Just know that the journey is more important than the destination. That you are in a time of growth, and you are in a time of, look how he's stretching himself, this cheetah or cougar or lion or whatever it is. Look how he's stretching himself, that you are in this time of stretch and growth, okay? This is this time of change for you, time of transition, of going forward. Look, going forward, very, very forward, okay? Because his shadow is directly underneath of him, so the sun is straight above. So he is going forward. He's going towards the checkered flag. He's going to that finish line. So this reminds you to keep stretching yourself, because it's the journey is more important than the destination, but it's who you become as you stretch yourself. It is who you are becoming as you go forward. Okay, that is the important part. It is who you are becoming. So Kimmy, I know there's been a lot of change for you, and this is a great card because it's telling us that you are almost to this place where you'll be able to rest, but that you are growing into a new, amazing, incredibly strong, and she is an extremely intelligent person, human along the way. So keep going, because you are growing, and this is this real time of soul expansion for you. Okay. Carol, you are so welcome. All right, where are we? Kimmy, we did Jeannie, Laura Lou, and Sadie. Laura Lou and Sadie. All right, Laura Lou. Laura Lou and Sadie being so patient, even though we know we don't really like patience so much. I know. Laura Lou. Imagine, Laura Lou, open your heart to the possibilities, my friend. Open your heart to the possibilities of allowing that spirit is working for you. That spirit is working for you to help bring you to a new place. That while you are, patience is not evil. The pursuit of patience may be evil, but patience is not evil. So really right now, Laura Lou, it is open season on what would you create. What would you create? What would you do? What would you manifest? How would you show up in the world? Right now, it is on a platter for you, Laura Lou, to say, this is who I want to be. This is how I want to show up in the world. And allowing yourself to just open your heart. But the trick is, there's always a catch. The trick is, as you allow your imagination to go and say, well, what would I do? What could I do? Keep away from the left side of the brain that says, you can't do that. We're not doing that. What are you doing? You're not doing it. Tell that little bratty voice to just shush up, right? So allowing for yourself to really open your heart, right? We talked about the slivers of light and the little cracking open of the heart. They're saying, like, right now is the time for you to just, like, open that up and, like, be like like Superman, pull a shirt open and just let your heart open and see, if I could do anything, if I could create anything, if I could be anything, if I could do anything to help make it a better place in the world. Hi, Lori. What would I do? What would it be? And to allow that to unfold. Because if you allow that to come into your awareness, and then you say, well, I'm going to take that. I want that. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to go forward with that. That would be amazing. And then that left side, that ego voice starts saying, and you say, no. I'm going to welcome this. I'm going to say, hey, spirit, God, source, light, whatever. How do I welcome more of this into my life? Because we're always like, how do I get out of this? And what the question is, how do I bring more of the good stuff? right? We worry so much about the bad stuff. How do we bring more of the good stuff? And how is such a powerful word. How can I welcome more of the good stuff into my life? And so, Laura, you've got the golden ticket right here with the Imagine card that says, what do you want? Let's dial it up, right? The trick is once you do, we don't negate it, right? We allow that. We say, okay, this is what I want. This is where I'm going to go. Show me, spirit, universe, show me that path that says, right? Remember that quote that I shared, that when you come to the edge of the light of all that you know, trust that two things are going to happen, right? You're going to have the next solid thing in front of you, or you're going to be taught how to fly. The next thing is coming. So, oh, thanks, sweetheart. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so Sadie is next for her card reading, and I just jumped a card out, so I'm going to just take that. But I'm going to put this to the side because we saw this card already. Sadie, this was Treasure Island, so I'm going to make sure we get you another one. But this popped out, and we know that we had this card already today, so we're going to let that go. We're going to pull you another one. Okay, so Sadie, Kimmy, that was your card. Kimmy, that was your card. Wasn't that Kimmy's card? No, that was Laura Lou's card. Kimmy, did you miss your card? I know we did a card for you. Oh, Kimmy was Go the Distance was your card. Kimmy was Go the Distance. And then Laura Lou was the Imagine card that we just had done. So, all right, so we're going to do a card for Sadie. And Sadie's card is Time for a Nap. Oh, hi, Lori. So Sadie's card is Time for a Nap. So, all right, so Sadie, so much trouble with patience. This is patience is not evil. You all are so funny. So Sadie, this is just really about resting. Doing things to fill your bucket back up, that you've done everything for everybody else, and allowing yourself time to fill your own bucket back up, and to do the things that bring love into your heart, okay? So that you are doing things for others, that's great, but take some time for yourself. And so this is that time for a nap. And so here you are as we're coming into, like right now we're in that full moon, but this is coming, looks more like into the new moon. And the moon is holding you and saying, we've got you, we're supporting you. But look at all the golden light, a golden light of love that is around that for you, that golden healer light. No one is ever late, Belinda. You are right on time. So that golden healer light. Sadie, this is about spirit and source holding you, lifting you, and having you, allowing you to take a breath. Take a breath and just say, I'm just going to do a little bit a little recharging, maybe a little breath work, a little bit of I'm going to eat that cookie because it's just going to help fill me up a little bit. Go for a walk, spend time in nature, but allow yourself time to recharge those batteries, Sadie. The card number for Time for a Nap is 24, so 2 and 4 is 6. So that energy, we've come over the hump, we've come past the challenging parts, and we're starting to come into the come down that hill on the other side. And so this is a good time for a rest, so we get ourselves recharged up so we can cross that finish line really strong. Okay, of whatever it is that journey is. But Sadie, it feels like you've been taking care of a whole lot of people, and it's just talking about some self-care for you. Okay, some self-care for you. All right, so if you have not already asked me for a card and you wanted to have a card, please do. Belinda has asked for a card, and card numbers for Imagine. Chris, hang on a second. Card number for Imagine is What does Imagine? Imagine is 20. So 20. So basically it's 2. Okay? Start of that journey. And okay, so Belinda, a card. And Belinda and Ellen. Lori, if you want a card, let me know. I'll be delighted to pull one for you, my friend. So happy to see your name pop up. All right, so we've got Belinda and Ellen. All right. So Belinda, it is higher power. All right, Belinda, this is card 4. We love this card, right? This reminds you that you are supported, right? 4 legs of the table, 4 legs of the chair. You are supported. Look at all the gorgeous colors, this explosion of lavender and pink and gold and white light. This is like right now, this is the time for you to decide where are you going, what are you doing, because like the Imagine card, it is literally being served up for you on a platter that says, hey, let's go. It is time for your transformation. It is time for your soul expansion. Belinda, this is time for your spiritual growth. This is time for you to expand your brain and your mind and expand your heart to become ready to step into your next place, to step into that calling. Okay, so right now they are on, guiding you, saying, hey, we're here, whatever it is, like dial it up, the buffet is open, right? So this is a great place to be, Belinda. Lots of possibilities that are in store for you. Because it does feel like this time of expansion, soul expansion, that there's been growing for you, and real transition. And also, they're showing me about a garden with you, like actual plants in the garden. So there's something else about planting seeds and letting them grow. But I also feel like there's something literal about this with a garden for you, Belinda. And I know you put little flower emojis in one of your comments, but they're literally showing me like the dirt and stuff. So it feels like there's something about planting seeds to grow for you as well. But again, it also just feels like maybe it's time for you to start like your actual spring garden. Heaven knows I know it's time to start mine, but but there's something else about getting your hands connected to the earth and getting your hands into the earth and getting grounded. Getting grounded. Yes, yes, okay, I understand that. Getting grounded before you start wishing on stars of that higher power and really tap in. Make sure that you're grounded so that you're not all off into like fairy dust. So get grounded. I understand that now. So get grounded before you start connecting with that higher power, so that you're connected below as above, and that you're all in that spiritual soul alignment with the light, so that you are understanding the manifest, like what it is you're manifesting is going to be for the highest good. Okay. And not cloudy. Okay. Ellen. Da, da, da. Ellen. So this is Truth Be Told. Truth Be Told is card 14. So 4 and 1 is 5. So middle of the road here, right? We're like getting to the top of whatever that, struggly part is, because Truth Be Told comes in upside down, and you can see this beautiful, this bird cage. And this is like, Belinda says, perfect guidance, excellent. Wanting to work on your little garden. Me too, me too. So Ellen, this is about not being truthful to ourselves. This is putting on our rose-colored glasses. This is about seeing things the way we want to see them, instead of really seeing what's really there. And that could mean we have to cut off some people. We have to, love them away. Has been a very big theme of this full moon, of releasing people to go on their paths and go on their journeys and just love them anyway over there. Okay. And so Ellen, we have this with this beautiful, the very wise owl, and the beautiful bird cage, and he's up on the beautiful pedestal, and you can see, is this an hourglass? This is the reflection of the beautiful, the water that's below, or the space that's below. But he's opening up the window, and all of the love and light is coming out. But we're putting this rose-colored glasses on it. We're seeing things the way we want to see them, Ellen, instead of seeing what is really, really there. And so this card reminds us that it's important for us to take a step back and take a look and say, okay, what is really going on in this situation, and what is the best way for me to go forward? Because it may not be the best way for us to go barreling in and being like, I know exactly what to do, because we may not be reading the situation correctly. Okay? All right. So we're going to do one last card. Last call. We're going to do one last card for the collective good, the collective guidance, to be able to wrap it up. Okay, one last card for everybody, and this is To the Sea, and this is You Are Welcome, Ellen Jane. This is card 7. This also comes in upside down, but what I love about this card is this card has a no, it doesn't matter right side up or right side down. This is a go with the flow card. This To the Sea, because look, she's not even driving the boat. She's not sailing. And the telescope is behind her. She's not even like looking at it. She's reading her book. She's not concerned. She knows that source, energy, angels, guides, God, light, love is in control, and that she is going in the direction she's supposed to go in. There's calm seas, sunny sky, and she's absolutely going in the right direction that she's supposed to be going. And if you look at the little frothy bits along the bottom of the boat, she's also moving at a reasonable speed. She's not stuck. Okay, she's not stuck. That boat is moving along. So when you feel like there's something that's like, why is this not happening fast enough? You are not stuck. Your boat is moving along. It is moving along at exactly the right speed for exactly what you need to be able to get you where you are supposed to be in exactly the right timing. And that is what's going on. So, we will not have meditation this Thursday night, so we will not see you again until next Monday. We are gonna have the next live was going to have the next live mediumship night was going to be in April, but I think we're going to do an in-person one in March. So we're looking at that to try and see if we can get that put together really quickly. So that will be an in-person one, and then we will do an online mediumship event in April, so that we can, because I know some of you come in from so many other amazing countries. I saw somebody's mentioned Scotland today and a couple other places. So we're going to do a live event in person somewhere in March. So stay tuned for dates on that. And then we'll do another online mediumship event. These will be ticketed events. I'd like to try and do some things as fundraisers to raise some money for some good charities. So if you have a charity that you like, that you'd like to support, feel free to send me a private message about it. And I definitely would like to do some of these things as some fundraisers, because there's a lot of good charities that could use some help right now. So thank you for spending some time with me on a busy Monday afternoon. I know how busy Mondays can be, so it means the world that you took some time out to spend with me, took some time out for you, for yourself. Thank you so much for being part of our community of light, and always, always know how much you are so truly loved. Mwah. We'll see you next week.